Welcome back everyone, Mariah here, and in today's video we are going over the price of Bitcoin. If you watched my video yesterday, basically everything that I said that was going to happen has already happened today, except for one minor variation. I anticipated all the volatility to begin around the market open, which we are 4 minutes from the market open at this moment, and let's see when that volatility kind of started on Bitcoin. So it started, as you can see, Bitcoin was trading in this tight range. So I would say that when you see a stock, when you see a crypto that is in a tight range, okay, and what am I talking about? I am talking about, like, see how long Bitcoin traded within here for? Like, that was a pretty decent amount of time. We're talking like 4 days, okay, 4 days in a tight range when we are in a market with a lot of volatility. So we're within this tight range for several extended period of time, and what you can anticipate is a pretty intense breakout in either direction. What I mentioned yesterday was that Ethereum was looking rather weak and that it tends to lead the way, and that's exactly what happened, with Ethereum down nearly 7% today and Bitcoin down about 4%. So it broke below this level right here at about 1 a.m. So we have, like I said, the market open here in a couple of minutes. Drives me nuts when Puerto Rico doesn't follow when the clocks change. So the markets open up at 10:30 here, which just feels like the latest start to the freaking day. But as you can see here, when you take a look over at SPY in the pre-market, SPY is down, currently trading at 575. 575.74, and so we'll be curious to see how things open here on Bitcoin. But I wanted to point a few things out here when it comes to Bitcoin and when it comes to Ethereum. Let's go ahead and start with Bitcoin, currently sitting at just under $91,000. What I told you yesterday was it was a pretty big deal. Let's just go over this again because it's really important. Look left. It's really, really simple. When you look left, what do you see? You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For this, on the 7th time Bitcoin broke below this key level here, right? This was support, and as you could think of it, okay, just think of it as a bridge, okay? It's a bridge, and every time a large rock comes down and hits the bridge, it weakens. So every time that Bitcoin comes to that level, it weakens over time. So the next time it comes to that level, it's more likely to hit it. Hitting it 6 times is insane. On the 7th time, it finally broke below. So where are we headed next? This is a daily chart here. So we have a little bit of support right over here at about the $87,000 level. So what are these colorful lines on my chart? This is Fibonacci retracement, okay? So how do you draw that on your chart? Let me go ahead and delete it so I can show you. You're gonna come over here, Fib retracement. This is a swing high here, okay, in mid-March of last year. And this over here is a swing low, okay, over here in this range. As you can see, Bitcoin came down into this range several times, okay? For me, what I am going to do in particular, because it comes down to preference on exactly where you place the swing low. For me, this is the clear swing high, and I'm gonna go ahead and choose the swing low here because it touched it at 3 points in time. You could technically draw it all the way down here to this wick, but for me, I feel more comfortable drawing it at the swing low of this level. The Bitcoin hit 1, 2, and 3 times. So where does that leave us? Over here in this range, like I said, at about $87,000. Bitcoin over here, that was acted as support for 4 consecutive days. So Bitcoin is probably gonna find a little bit of support at about the $87,000 range. That's what I'm anticipating next. Then what happens if we break below that? Look left once again. You can see that there is a gap fill that's probably going to happen, whether it's now or a later point in time. As you can see, Bitcoin spent very little time in this range from 74 up until about $87,000. Very little time, okay? And that's why I would be surprised to see Bitcoin go below 73, this high right here. As you can see, this became resistance multiple times. Now, when Bitcoin comes back in that range, it's going to now be support. But this is called a gap fill, which will likely happen. There is something that is currently potentially going to save us, and it's this particular moving average that is in the high $70,000 range. So that is what I am anticipating when it comes to Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the 4-hour chart. So Bitcoin has clearly, obviously broken below that main level. It was about at 91.2. Bitcoin's currently sitting just under $91,000. I mean, obviously this can happen in different scenarios. We could just have it rip down, wick down very quickly, very violently, very viciously. It could be drug out a little bit. For me, I am happy because I have plenty of cash on the sidelines. I cannot wait to buy this dip. This doesn't change anything in the long term for Bitcoin. We are still in a bull cycle, in my opinion. There's not enough information saying that we are in a bear market. So I am very excited to be picking up a lot of Bitcoin as we see it pulling back into these ranges. So I have staggered buy orders that I mentioned yesterday. So like I said, we have that moving average that is saving us here on the daily time frame. So let's go to take a look at Ethereum. The Ethereum chart looks so different. It's actually kind of crazy. I didn't realize this till I was taking a deeper dive on Ethereum. I don't look at Ethereum that frequently, but like I said in yesterday's video, Ethereum tends to lead the way, and it's really important that you pay attention to both because it was looking weaker yesterday. And I was like, oh wow, like it was clearly a massive bear flag on the Ethereum chart, and it was looking much weaker than Bitcoin. And I was like, Ethereum tends to lead the way. So sometimes, even if you're not trading Ethereum, even if you don't own Ethereum, take a look at the Ethereum chart because it's going to give you probably some clues on where Bitcoin is going. So let's see here. Did we just have a bit of a drop here on Bitcoin? Like a pretty intense one? Yeah. So as you can see here, we are now getting close to going under $90,000 on Bitcoin. And that is why? Because the market just opened, right? You can always anticipate volatility during the market open. The market has opened 4 minutes ago. This is so important to be paying attention to, right? Market opens here, and we see more volatility on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is now right at $90,000. Let's go ahead and take a quick look over at, I'm sure the stock market has also opened up right today. Yeah, look at, okay, so now we are in the 89, we're under $90,000. As you can see here, same thing with SPY. We gapped down. We're bouncing a little bit here. So yeah, Bitcoin just toggling in that range. So almost majority of major stocks opened up red today, and everything's kind of following the lead. So Bitcoin currently sitting at $89,840. Let's go ahead. This is what I was talking about, but then I got distracted by the market open. And okay, so this is a daily chart on Ethereum. Let's back up here to the daily chart on Bitcoin. I mean, we could see Bitcoin in the next 30 minutes to an hour head all the way down to this $86,000 range. Okay, so this is a daily chart here on Bitcoin. And look how different the structure is compared to Ethereum daily chart. What am I talking about? In this particular cycle, we have seen Ethereum come up and reach this $4,000 range 3 times, okay? And there is way more support on the Ethereum chart than there is on the Bitcoin chart. What am I talking about? Okay, so we have this decent level of support because we're kind of in that support range here on Ethereum. Okay, see over here, look left, right? There was support in this range at about the $2,900 mark. Look at all this time. This is a daily chart. All these times that Bitcoin bounced off of this level, okay? It finally did break below it at one point, but it acted as support for a decent period of time, right? So we can look left and also look at that as support coming into that range, which could potentially save Bitcoin for a little bit more longer period of time and hold up the market, okay? So Ethereum could be at this point, right? Yesterday we looked at it as it was leading the way. It looked extremely weak. Now it's showing more support. So as you can see here, we look left, we have some support in this range. And then this is equivalent, I would say, you know, this like $2,900 range to Bitcoin's $87,000 range. But this is the thing, is that after $87,000 on Bitcoin, once that is broken, what do we have next as support? Thankfully, we have this moving average. But if we're looking at price action, then we have over in the $74,000 range as support. That is a massive gap. But on Ethereum, we have a bit more support, okay? We have this level here that could hold it up, but we can reach all the way down to this level at the $2,200 range. So because of the more levels of support on Ethereum, it could actually kind of hold up the entire crypto market a little bit better. And the chart overall looks better long-term on Ethereum than Bitcoin. So I'm gonna be paying attention to both, although, like I said, I'm not trading Ethereum, but I'm looking at Ethereum to get clues on where the market is headed. So let's zoom in here a little bit on Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the day we hit this. We hit this level right here, just at about the $86,000 range. 30-minute chart, 10-minute, kind of all looking the same here. And let's look at the 5. So a little bit of a bounce. So as you can see here, this is a 5-minute chart. Bitcoin bounced a little bit here, and when you head over to SPY, it did the same exact thing. So in this scenario, we are still seeing, all right, SPY getting weak again. I was trading options on SPY. I've been a little bit too busy to do it as of lately, but as you can see here, this level of 575 as support that is holding up. And let's go ahead and zoom out to the hourly. As you can see, look left on the hourly, support, 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 acting as support once again. So let's go back over to the crypto market. Bitcoin back above $90,000. And we have Ethereum now under $3,000, nearly down 9% on the day. Bitcoin right about 4.5, down 4.5% on the day. So we just have a Red Sea here in the market, a serious Red Sea. Let's see here. I was gonna take a quick look here. Actually, XRP holding on decently strong, only down 4% on the day at $2.41. And let's see what Doge is up to. Coins I don't really look at, but just for funsies, So actually, a lot of support here on Doge. We have support at about 30 cents. We have some more support at right at that 30-cent range. A lot of support there. If Doge breaks below 30 cents, it's currently at about 32 cents. Whew. See, this is the thing. Here's another great example of a gap that needs to get filled. So Doge breaks below 30 cents and we're looking up here at about 22. So we have this moving average that can help us out. If you see here, currently the moving average is at about 24 cents, and then you have these points of resistance here that will now flip as support, sitting at about 22 cents. So you gotta look left and you gotta check out these gaps as important markers of where you can anticipate the price going. So we're seeing a nice little bounce here. Bitcoin back at 91. We're seeing that nice volatility in the morning, but very difficult price action to trade. Most people can never handle. I mean, I couldn't handle. I'm not really interested, right? I'm not trying to be like flipping back and forth between Bitcoin going to like 89 and 90. Like, I am looking for a more stress-free approach of just patience, because I know how to stay in my lane, and I am not equipped to be trading this sort of price action. So that's pretty much it here. This is the hourly on Bitcoin. I'm gonna just do one more. We're seeing that little bounce here. It's always just nice to see to compare Bitcoin and see the price action compared to SPY, which is actually looking weaker here on the 5-minute compared to Bitcoin. So that's all that I have for you today in this video. I have some nice videos coming up this week talking about Puerto Rico, responding to people's opinions on Puerto Rico as someone who has lived here for 7 years and really enjoyed my time here. I always have like more of a positive look on Bitcoin. I have a positive bias, I guess you could say, compared to most people, but hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, hit that like button. Have an amazing Monday and have an amazing week.